Chapter 20. They Will Be Killed. They Will Be Killed. A year after George's expulsion from Hanover, a second of Queen Victoria's cousins was ousted from a throne, but in this case, the consequences were far more devastating, leading to insanity and execution. Following the death of his wife, Queen Louise, in 1850, King Leopold I of the Belgians had grown even closer to his only daughter, Charlotte, with whom he enjoyed discussing politics and international affairs. Charlotte revelled in his attention, but, at the same time, dreamed of escaping from her sheltered world into the dazzling glamour of society. Queen Victoria briefly toyed with the idea that she would make an ideal bride for King Pedro of Portugal, but when, at the age of 16, she was permitted to attend a few dances, she welcomed the attentions of several other would-be suitors, including Archduke Maximilian of Austria, a younger brother of Emperor Franz Joseph. Well-read, well-travelled, and, like Charlotte, fluent in several languages, the Archduke had enjoyed an impressive naval career and had developed a keen interest in botany and natural sciences. He also had a keen political awareness, and his views coincided with those of the young Belgian princess. More importantly, in Queen Victoria's eyes, with the exception of his mouth and chin, he is good-looking, and I think one does not the least care for that, as he is so very kind and clever and pleasant. By February the following year, there was talk of an imminent betrothal, and in response to a request from King Leopold, the Austrian Emperor appointed his brother Viceroy of Lombardy-Venetia. The wedding took place in Brussels in the summer of 1857, after which the couple set out for Milan to take up their positions as Viceroy and Vicereine. From the start, 17-year-old Charlotte made it known that she intended to involve herself fully in all political and social affairs of the region, and, while her beauty and elegance endeared her to the aristocracy, her charitable activities won her the affection of the people. She and Maximilian carried out their duties with tolerance and grace, but their successes were tarnished in the minds of the emperor's ministers by the lavish balls and expensive entertainments that they hosted. Franz Joseph was more alarmed that his brother's popularity exceeded his own, and after 2 years he used the accusations of extravagance to remove Maximilian from his position and recall him to Vienna. In Milan, Charlotte had grown used to being the centre of attention, but in Vienna her attractions were overshadowed by those of the strikingly beautiful, but unhappily married, Empress Elizabeth. She began to put on weight, which, according to Queen Victoria, spoiled her appearance and placed her in an unfavourable light beside the anorexic Empress, whose close relationship with Maximilian she quickly came to resent. To make matters worse, she soon discovered that her husband enjoyed the services of prostitutes, and gossips claimed that the couple's childlessness was due to the Archduke's having contracted syphilis, which had either left him sterile or had caused his wife to refuse to sleep with him for fear of the contagion. Whatever the truth of these stories, it did not take long for the ever-observant Queen Victoria to notice that something was amiss in the marriage. She was in Vienna for some time, part of it without Max, who had to go to Venice, the Queen told her eldest daughter, and now that Max is returned to Vienna, she goes to Venice and he remains at Vienna, which I do not approve. Disillusioned with the capital, the couple retired to their recently built castle, Miramar near Trieste, where, for a few months, Charlotte was able to employ her artistic talents to the full, as she and Maximilian devoted themselves to designing and furnishing the interior, and organising the layout of the gardens. Whatever the strains in their marriage, the couple appeared perfectly happy in each other's company. But for Maximilian, a life of domestic contentment was unfulfilling after his numerous adventures in foreign lands, and Charlotte still dreamed of playing a more glamorous role on the world stage. When, therefore, in 1863, they received the offer of becoming Emperor and Empress of Mexico, it was too attractive an opportunity to dismiss without further consideration. Since the 15th century, Mexico had been a Spanish colony, but throughout the early 19th century, a struggle for independence had led to the establishment of the First Empire, under the Emperor Agustin I.
to keep listening to this audiobook. I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.